All right, look, man, I'm gonna make this shit real short and quick. Well, I'm gonna try to. Video going out to T Money, dog. Yeah, I've seen two of your videos where you're talking out your ass. You like to manipulate facts and distort the truth to make your team seem better. You know, like I mean, like I said to Real Talk, man, you can't compare player for player because teams use different positions differently. You know what I mean? And one, you get on the whole shit about, you know what I'm saying, Steven Jackson and Harry Douglas, and you know what I mean? So I'm gonna put it like this. Wes Welker. Okay, for an example, Wes Welker in 2012 had 118 receptions for 1,354 yards. And the year after that in Denver, he had 73 catches for 778 yards, which seemed to be, he was a very big part of that offense, but less productive than he was in New England. So, simple fact, they used him differently. You know, he was still a productive player, but used him differently. Or say Harry Douglas. He's still productive, but they use him differently than they would somebody else. Than any other team would use a slot receiver. So, yeah, and you said he averages 1,000. You know, he's averaging 80 catches a season. But like you said, where those 80 catches going to come from? I mean, are going to go since Tony G's not there. Duh, either Harry Douglas or Inch Levine. Another thing, you want to compare Cam. Now, this is going back to your first video. You want to compare Cam to fucking Matt Ryan, saying Cam is better. I think you're full of shit. And here's why. Now, see, what I normally don't do is compose stats and write down stats and keep track of this shit. But to prove my point, I decided to write it down. Now, Cam, his first 3 seasons in the league, he had 1,475 pass attempts, which comes out to, and had 882 completions. 64 touchdowns for 11,299 yards. Let's call it 11,300 yards. His completion percentage is about a 59.8. From year 2011 when he got signed, he's had his passer rating, his completion percentage was 61.7. 2012 was 57.7, and then 2013 was 60.0. So, he lost a little bit in his second year. Last year he was sacked 43 times. He was sacked 43 times. His rating was about an 86. Was overall, I think was a QBR overall was 86.4. Decent stats. Now, when we go to Matt Ryan's first 3 years, which is 08, 09, and 2010, he had 1,456 attempts for 885 completions. Now, Cam had 882 completions. 60, and Matt Ryan had 66 touchdowns. Didn't Cam have? Oh yeah, that's right, 64 touchdowns. Matt Ryan accumulated 10,061 yards. Now you got us on that. I'll give you that one. But Matt Ryan did miss a game within that first 3 years. He did miss a game, and that gives you 239 more yards than Matt Ryan did, which I think had he been in that game, he would have passed. So going to Matt Ryan's QB, completion percentage. His first year he had 61.1. Year 2 he dropped at 58.3. Year 3 he went back up to 62.5. So on an average, that's about 60, 61%. Cam averages about 59. Yeah, he was a 59.8. So we got you on there. Now move on to other things. I try not to say so much, but the thing is, you manipulate shit to make it seem better for you. Steven Jackson missed. He only played 7 games last season. 7. There are 16 games in a full season. He accumulated 543 yards in the games he did play. So, I think he played 7 games. My fault. Yeah, he played 7 games out of a 16-game season, and he got 543 yards. So, do you think if he played a full season, he would have had over 1,000 yards? I do. So, yeah. Another thing, man. What else is there? It's crazy how you want to take your facts and change them to make your team look better. But in reality, when you look at the whole spectrum, Atlanta's got you beat. Plain and simple. And you can argue about the 4-12, like Sports Live said, man. When you miss players like Baker, Spoon, Asante, Julio, Roddy, just a plethora of key players that helped that offense get to 13-3 last season. That's the outcome. Now I know you need to have a backup players and plug and play. Look, that's why we went and drafted like 7 linebackers. We got 4 linebackers. Rashid Hagman. You can say what you want, but for you to sit there and say, "Oh, he's not a plug and play kind of player," yeah, just like Luke Kuechly wasn't for y'all, right? And they even said during the draft that they gave Rashid Hagman a first-round grade. How he slipped to the second round, nobody knows, but he did. So I think when he gets in there and he lines up with Tyson Jackson and Soliai, it's going to be a very formidable. It's going to be a very good defense. So and your boy on Twitter, man, shut that nigga down, man. That nigga running his mouth, talking out the side of his neck, don't know what the fuck he talking about. So yeah, that's whatever. At bogus 69 or some shit, which he really is bogus. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it coming from me, dog. Y'all need to get your shit together, and the shit that you had at the end of your video, man, what sense did that make? That didn't make no fucking interrelevance to what you were talking about. Neo and the Matrix? What? That's a head scratcher, dog. I'm gone, man. 1.